Since I was young, I've always been fascinated with women's clothing. Dressing up makes me feel alive and comfortable in my own skin. However, since getting married, I've not had many chances to do so. My wife, Vivian, has no idea about my cross-dressing. I keep all of my outfits hidden from her in a storage locker. Vivian is part of the C-suite of a big pharmaceutical company and often goes on business trips. In her absence, I retrieve my clothes from a storage locker and wear them around the house. I have tried wearing my wife's clothes in the past, but she has commented on how they are out of place when she returns. I always blame it on the housekeepers and decide to wear my own clothes instead. This weekend, Vivian is traveling to Cancun for a company retreat, and I have the place to myself. When I got back from work on Friday, I checked Vivian's location to ensure she was gone for the weekend. It showed that she was at the airport 40 minutes ago, so I assumed she was already in the air. I sighed a breath of relief and went to retrieve my clothes from the storage box. It was a quick drive from our house, and I was back in 15 minutes. Up in my room, I took off all of my clothes and slipped on a bright pink lace thong. I loved how thongs felt, and I admired myself in the mirror. Then, I put on some red heels, and something about the thong and heel combination made me feel powerful. The way the thong hugged my body made me feel feminine. I then put on a matching bra and filled it with 2 pads. I began to feel like a woman. I applied some red lipstick and added some mascara. My face was naturally very feminine, so I didn't have to do much work. Next, I took out my wig and attached it to my hair. It was one of the most expensive items in my stash, custom-made, and looked real when I put it on properly. Today, I felt formal and decided to wear my black dress. It was pretty long and had a lot of frills on the lower part. I pulled it up on me and adjusted the back. To top things off, I put a necklace around my neck, then made my way downstairs. I had a tripod that I mounted my phone on to take pictures of myself. I set it in different places around the house and snapped dozens of shots. I positioned the tripod right behind the front door and wanted to do a sexy shot of me sitting on the stairs. I pulled up the dress slightly to reveal my legs, then waited for the timer to finish and the camera to take a picture. Unfortunately, that picture was never taken. Just as the timer was counting down, the front door violently swung open, and Vivian walked in, holding a bouquet of flowers. She had a big smile on her face and didn't notice me initially, as she was looking to see what she knocked over. Suddenly, she looked up and her eyes met. As soon as Vivian walked in, she dropped her flowers and asked me what was going on. I was speechless and just stared at her, feeling exposed. She didn't say anything either, and I could feel her taking it all in. I told her I would change immediately and started to make my way upstairs. However, she stopped me and told me to stay dressed like that and wait for her in the living room. I sat down on the couch and waited as Vivian put away her things. I heard her go upstairs into our bedroom, and I was sure she saw all my stuff laid out all over the bed and floor. Vivian didn't come back down for a while, but I patiently waited on the couch, tapping my heels against the floor. When Vivian came downstairs, she had changed into sweatpants and a shirt and began asking me questions. She asked how long I had been wearing women's clothes, and I responded a few years. She also asked where I learned to apply makeup so well, and I told her I watched a lot of YouTube videos. Vivian then asked why I hadn't told her about it. I sighed and said that I was worried she wouldn't accept me and would force me to stop. I began to tear up a little, and I felt Vivian's mood change. She came over to me and gave me a hug, saying she wished I had told her earlier. Vivian then surprised me by saying she was surprised by how convincing of a woman I was, and that I was actually kind of cute like this. Vivian inspected my wig and bra, and then leaned in to kiss me, some of the lipstick sticking to her lip. She laughed as she wiped it off and asked why I was dressed so formally. She suggested I change into something more comfortable. We both went upstairs, and Vivian watched as I changed into my nighties, a Victoria's Secret 2-piece cami set. I was struggling a bit to remove my dress since it was very tight on the top. Vivian came up behind me and helped me unzip it. The dress fell to the ground, and I felt her eyes on me. Vivian said I looked cute in the thong, and that she didn't realize my bottom was so big. She helped me change into the cami set, and then we cuddled for a while and talked more about cross-dressing. I told her I collected a few outfits over time and would wear them inside of the house on weekends when she was gone. Vivian asked me why I never wore them out, and I told her I was too scared. She asked me if I wanted to go out the next day dressed up, and I said yes. We talked some more, and Vivian explained that her plane had some technical issues and had to turn around. The next few flights were full, so she decided to come home and spend the weekend with me instead. We both chuckled at the irony of the situation. We continued to cuddle until we both fell asleep. The next morning, Vivian woke me up and told me she had a big day planned for me. She had already gone through all of my outfits and picked out something for me to wear. After showering, I changed into the clothes that Vivian had left out for me. She had picked out a jean skirt, yellow top, pink panties, and a pink bra. I quickly put on the outfit and readjusted my wig. We ate breakfast together at the dining table before getting ready to leave. Vivian was wearing sweatpants and a shirt with her hair tied up. She asked me to wear the same red heels that I wore yesterday so that she could see how I walked in them. We touched up our makeup and headed out. First, we went to the hair salon to get our nails done. The ladies doing our nails spoke in a foreign language, but I could tell they were talking about us. We then went shopping at the mall, holding hands and attracting attention. We ended up at Victoria's Secret, looking at undergarments for both of us. The lady helping us seemed interested in me and asked for my name. As soon as I spoke, her expression changed, and she seemed uncomfortable. Vivian did all the talking from then on, and we picked out matching undergarments. We then went to the food court and got some chipotle. As we ate, I noticed a group of guys staring at us. Just as we were finishing, two of the guys approached us and asked for our numbers. I spoke up and said they were handsome too in my most manly voice. The guys ran off and we laughed together. Our final stop was a shoe store where I tried on many shoes, but none of them fit well. We decided not to buy anything and headed back to our car. On the way, we stopped at a gas station to refill the tank. Vivian suggested that I refill the gas in my underwear, and I agreed. I changed into just my panties and bra and started pumping gas. A guy in boots and a cowboy hat stepped out of his truck and spotted me. He chuckled to himself and said, "What an interesting outfit for the gas station." I responded that my clothes had gotten dirty, and this was the only change of clothes I had in the car. He laughed and said, "What a crazy position to be in." Over the next few years, Vivian and I had many outings where I dressed up. Our marriage got better, and I felt closer than ever to my wife. Looking back, I'm glad she caught me cross-dressing.